Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Jaycast podcast. Blah blah blah. Your host Jay
and Jay,
and we got a decent show for you guys today. We keep trying to be consistent, but we got too much stuff going on, so we'll keep giving you episodes and videos as we could, and then after that, whatever you guys like it, you guys like, share, subscribe. If you guys don't, you guys like, share, and subscribe. If you stop by mistake, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. That's pretty much it on that front. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, man. Right now we're just working on creating more content for you guys, being consistent. I think that, at least we're able to, I guess, grow our channel eventually.
It's going to be a slow process.
Yeah, it's going to be a slow process because we're trying to keep it clean, unlike other people.
Yeah, we are trying to keep it clean, but also we're not showing our faces because of all the things that we have going on outside of our lives and all the things, like maybe in the future we will, but at the current moment as it stands, I don't think it's a good idea for us to show our faces until certain things play out the way we want them to outside of the podcast space.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of things to talk about, the whole thing with Fresh and Fit being demonetized and the Maui fires and Biden's response to that, and as well as the Republican camp with the debates that we didn't watch. We only saw the highlights, but also the whole Trump mugshot thing. I want to hear your thoughts on that. I got thoughts on that. But real quick, so I went running this week, dude. I broke my adult record now. I finally ran 3 miles under 21 minutes.
Nice.
So it's like, I think 20:57.
Yeah.
One thing that I noticed, I should stretch more, but I don't. But also, I don't have, my body doesn't feel sore. Mm-hmm. And the only thing I've changed, I started eating oatmeal now. And I don't know if it has anti-inflammatory properties or what, but...
Yeah, I know it's good in fiber. It's definitely good for fiber.
Yeah, freaking doctor, man. I went to the doctor back in June, and they didn't call me back. So I'm assuming everything is good.
Yeah.
I looked at my results online, and I'm assuming everything is good. Then I scheduled another appointment for something else that I got to do. And she tells me, she's like, oh, we never called you back for your to review your chart. Seems like your cholesterol is a little high. Man, that would have been good information to know.
Yeah.
2 months
Is
ago.
it the good one or the bad one?
It's the bad one, I guess. But it's high by a little bit. And it's my fault. I'm thinking because I run and I work out that I could eat whatever I want.
Oh.
Not for real. And I still look good, right? From being 30s in my 30s, I still look fantastic.
Yeah.
My wife tells me, unless she's lying to me. But I realized, okay, just because I'm running and staying active doesn't mean that my body, the internal stuff in my body is able to, process things the way it used to before.
That's true.
So,
and also now that you're mentioning running and stuff, another thing that's very important is mobility. I've been doing mobility ever since I messed up my knee. So it's been maybe 3 years, maybe 4 almost. I just do a lot of mobility exercises, which is considered stretching and stuff. So because it's a lot of my friends that still lift, they're not able to move correctly, if that makes sense. So they're very stiff and stuff.
Yep.
And their hips, they're having hip problems, knee problems, and things like that. So
I actually I don't lift as much as I used to. I still do, as you can tell, but
heavy, right? Yeah, I'm the same way.
I just don't see.
I'm the same way.
I don't see a point. Once you get to a certain weight, let's say, dumbbells, dumbbell press, 120 on each side.
Yeah.
For me, that's kind of good, right?
Yeah.
Bench press, 225, maybe a little bit over 225. Squat, 225. That's kind of unless you're competing or whatever. I'm not a nutritionist or I'm not a fitness bro. And I say fitness bro, I don't mean that in a derogatory term. I'm talking about no, because
It reminds me of science bro.
Exactly.
What is it called? The bro science.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have any. By the way, I don't have any problem with bro science because you see the results.
Yeah.
They'll tell you dude, just do this and this, and it's some jacked up dude with a chiseled chin, and you're like, oh, okay, well, this guy knows what he's doing. It is.
Yeah.
But it works. But what I'm trying to say is if you guys have your own thing, that works for you guys, that's good. But as far as I'm concerned, man, I'm not really lifting that much, maybe 3 to 4 times a week now, as opposed to 5. But that's pretty much it, man. And then
I like lifting though. I enjoy it, but But what you said, like lifting really heavy. When I was younger, I
Yeah,
used to
of
like
course.
want to keep lifting heavier and heavier, and it just got to a point where it's like, bro, like you're hurting your joints and
Right.
you're messing up your the cartilage.
Which
as well.
running could also hurt your joints, but
It does though. Eventually, that's the thing. As long as you just take your vitamins, because it's gonna happen with
Yeah.
any exercises. I think swimming's the best.
I think eventually I do want to get into swimming, and I do want to do swimming. But right now, I think weightlifting hurts your joints and running hurts your joints. But running only hurts your knees a little bit.
Your knees, yeah.
Right. Lifting hurts everything else.
Yeah.
Running gives you cardio benefits. Lifting doesn't. And this is not against lifting. It's just in
Yeah.
my experience. I feel so much better running than I do lifting. But I'm still going to keep lifting. So, my goal is to go below 20, like hit 19s, 3 miles and 19. So that's pretty, I'm like 215.
That's pretty good, man.
So yeah, but then you think like, damn, you're putting all that weight on your joints.
Yeah,
So it's like-
that's another thing. Yeah, as well. Dude, the heaviest I ever been was 185, and I know at least for me, like my bone density is not that big, as you can tell. I mean, you guys can't see me right now, but I don't have huge thick bones, right?
Yeah.
So when I was at 185, I felt pretty heavy, and I was telling myself, I was like, damn, dude, like I don't know how someone that's like over 200 pounds, but it all depends on your bone density. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it puts a lot of stress on your body, man.
Yeah.
And there's certain movements that you can't do unless you keep doing mobility as you keep working out. Then you'll eventually be able to like splits and all this.
I think stretching
and
is
stuff.
I think stretching is important,
Hell
and
yeah,
it's
dude.
so overlooked. I'm one of the people I don't really stretch like I should.
Yeah.
But eating oatmeal apparently really helped out with like some inflammation stuff. Like
Yeah, I know it helped me out with constipation.
you heard it here, folks.
Yeah,
Jay's not
it
constipated anymore.
yeah, not anymore, man. It helps. It really helps, man, with that.
I want to talk about the Maui fires really quickly.
Yeah.
So as a lot of you guys know, the Maui is a place in Hawaii that got ravaged by quote unquote, I don't know if it was wildfire or I don't know if it was the result of like a faulty power line that resulted in wildfires. And a lot of people lost a lot of their properties, which is kind of messed up.
Except just a few
Dude,
millionaires and billionaires.
so that's the thing, right? Before we get into that though, real quickly,
Yeah.
the response from Biden, right, was kind of messed up too.
Oh, the comparison he made.
So number one, the comparison he made, but also before we do that, he took a while to get to Maui, I think, and he was kind of like pressured to go,
Oh wow.
if I'm not mistaken. And then he shows up, he's on stage with like those things that Hawaiians wear around their necks.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, and dude, he's like, I don't want to compare, but I also almost lost everything once. We had a pond in our house or in front of our house, and lightning struck. And this is the part that kind of like I almost lost my '67 Corvette.
Yeah, I
It's
remember.
like, bro, you're trying to. It's like a rich guy saying, dude, it's like a rich guy talking to like a guy who was not rich, who lost everything, and the rich guy saying, dude, I know what it's like to lose something. I almost lost my yacht once.
Yeah.
Like, what, dude, shut up.
Yeah.
That's not, you know what I mean? And
You
this is-
shouldn't even be talking about yourself, you know what I mean?
exactly. You should be saying, look, man, we're gonna work around the clock to make sure you guys get taken care of.
look
At
for a
least the best.
solution.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear about what almost happened
Yeah.
to you decades ago, and you're a rich person now.
But it gives you an insight how he thinks as
Not just
a president,
he, but
man.
they.
The politicians, yeah.
They're disconnected, and that's just.
I don't think it's even disconnected. I think they really don't care.
But you're right. Yes, they don't
Yeah.
care.
Maybe
But-
because they are
But
disconnected.
even
I
there's
don't know.
no, they don't care. But they're so disconnected that when they even pretend to care, they don't know how to because they're that disconnected. They don't even know. They don't even know how to pretend, right? So it's like
Doesn't that kind of make them? If you're not able to, yeah, psychopaths, exactly. If you're not able to empathize with someone,
because they don't look at. I suspect they don't look at the common people as humans.
yeah,
That's just the bottom line, right? And the fact that he just can go up there and
it's an entire
talk about
island, man.
how he almost lost his '67 Corvette and how it almost happened to him, and it's like, bro, people need to find out. Number one, what are you gonna do? This is a state that voted for you too, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's predominantly Democratic, right?
It's a state that voted.
Yeah.
It's a state that voted for him.
Wow.
So they want to know. Well,
I hope they remember in the elections coming up.
I want to circle back to that, but before we do that, it's like
Oh yeah, we will. Yeah.
what are you gonna do to get the country like a little bit, up and running? What are you doing for the venture, for not for the vulture property management people
Yeah.
trying to go in there and buy things on the cheap now? Are you gonna stop them? Are you gonna kick them off? Are you gonna tell them to freak off? Are you gonna do anything at all? So I really going back to the thing. What gets me mad about that is that I hope people do remember that. But if they do remember that and they vote accordingly and they don't vote for him, the media is gonna just make it seem like it's some kind of racist thing. Let's say they voted, let's say Trump ran for office.
They might not even do that because the media right now is predominantly Democrat, so they might make it seem like he didn't mean it in that manner.
It doesn't matter, right? Come election time, if Hawaii doesn't vote for Biden,
Yeah.
and they vote the other way, they'll say,
I see what you mean.
Yeah, it's racist. How could they do that to him? But they'll skip everything that just happened here.
Yeah.
How people felt kind of forgotten. Well, I will say this though. I do like, and maybe I haven't seen it, but on social media, I haven't seen many Republican people celebrating the Maui actions of, I haven't seen people celebrating the actions of Biden and how it impacts Maui in a bad way, right? For voting for him. It's like, oh, you guys voted for this. This is what you get. Ha ha. I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
So, that's one thing that kind of, it kind of restores your faith a little bit in humans.
There's a lot of conspiracy theories as well going on.
Dude, I love to hear it.
Yeah, so one of the crazy ones is that starting in 2017, they had
space lasers, bro.
Well, that's another one. But I'm talking about the green cities that were proposed by
yes.
I think one of them was even Bill Gates, because I know he has property there. But they were trying to buy property off the natives of that land.
Yeah.
And they were proposing a green city in 2017, and as all the way up, they were pushing them, making offers to the natives all the way till like January of this year. So they're trying to correlate that.
And it doesn't help the fact that the person who was supposed to be in charge of the response.
Oh, the governor?
Yeah.
No, not the governor.
I don't know if it's the governor or
the emergency response team, I guess.
He didn't respond for whatever reason. He took his sweet time.
Yeah.
And that the firefighters showed up and weren't allowed to use water or something like that.
Yeah.
So none of that stuff helps in disproving a conspiracy theory that does sound like a bit
they're
crazy.
saying, they're confirming from the natives themselves.
Allegedly.
Well, I saw it in the news. I don't know.
Look, man, last thing I wanted was cease and desist.
Yeah, you're right. I guess, allegedly, they were saying that the first responders were actually turning away the people that were trying to run away from the fires. And
I
there
heard
was
that
hundreds
too.
of them dying, burning. So they're like,
Allegedly.
where am I going to go? Of course, there was some that weren't even paying. They weren't abiding by the rules. They're like, screw it. I'm running for my life.
Allegedly. Yep. I heard that too. So all that stuff doesn't help people in not believing in conspiracy theories. When you say, they're trying to make a green city. Well, that's not true. But then you find out, they were trying to buy land from the native, and they said no. Then you hear, the response time to put out these fires were super slow or non-existent.
There was fire hydrants that weren't working.
Right.
Water shut off in certain parts.
Right, and then you hear like firefighters showing up, but they didn't have waters to fight the fires. So you hear all that stuff. So you hear all that stuff, and it opens people's mind up to like, maybe there is a conspiracy theories, right? And then the cherry on top is, they used space lasers to start the fires.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And then people will be like, it makes sense because some rich people's houses didn't burn down. Why was that? And then it's ripe. So people got to come out and say, no, that's not true. But going back to the whole 15-minute city thing, that coincides with a lot of these train chemical spills that happen.
Yeah.
Where it's like, are these accidents or are these things actually happening on purpose to make this place purposely unlivable so that they can patch over them and build 15-minute cities?
Yeah, they're saying that they're supposed to make it like a green city, and the thing is, like, it's if this is conspiracy that is actually true, it's kind of crazy because think about it, man. They're an island. It's smart, right? If you think about it, because if this happened inland in the USA, it's hard to hide something like this. But because they're on an island, for people to actually get to them,
nobody can just.
They have to go. Yeah, they can't just get there right away. So it's very difficult to actually get the truth.
Yeah, man, and but notice how the media doesn't really report much on that part of it.
And I'm wondering how this guy, Dwayne Johnson, right? I know he was
shout out my boy The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock, man. I mean, he's a huge celebrity, man. He's like one of the most followed.
I'm sure he's probably out there helping.
I hope he's trying to find out what happened too, man.
Well, I don't know if he's trying to find out what happened, but he's probably helping. But remember, at the end of the day, for as much as you like The Rock, he's a Hollywood person.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? And here's the bottom line: the media won't report on it accurately. You know, the media won't show videos of people seeing the motorcade and yelling like obscenities to Biden.
Yeah.
They won't show that. So I wish people knew that the media is not your friend, that wherever you get your information from, if you got it from a particular source, understand that that information has bias. Even here, even in the Jaycast podcast, for all three of our listeners, that information is biased. But I do think that they are trying to purposely ruin stuff and make quality of things bad on purpose as an excuse to come in with a replacement and say, oh, just use this, just use that. Like when people want to go in on Vivek Ramaswamy saying, he said the climate change agenda is a hoax. That doesn't mean he doesn't believe in climate change. That means that the agenda to fight climate change is a hoax. And I agree. Some of the stuff that they're saying, oh, just eat bugs, eat lab-grown meat.
Yeah.
We'll charge you per mile you drive. Go green, go electric, which isn't really green to begin with.
Yeah, that's another thing. So what do you think about the houses that weren't burnt down? And suppose there was like a church that wasn't burnt down, even though there was like melted cars, like literally parked on the same street that the property's located on.
You know, apart from the church, is always good when you see like the hand of God working in situations like that.
I mean, but then you see like billionaires and millionaire houses that weren't touched by the fire. It's
right,
like,
that's what I'm saying. Like then you see that and you're
yeah.
like, wonder why. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not gonna say space lasers, but
Yeah, but I think they
it's hard
reported
to.
over.
It's kind of like everything's open now.
Yeah, they reported over 300 deaths, I think, so far, and there's like over 1,000 people that are missing. So we'll see how the story unfolds. But
It won't unfold. That's the thing. It won't
you
unfold.
don't think that even the natives would be able to like tell what happened?
Yeah, but it'll be like, oh, these are just natives. What do they know? And I'm not. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that that's how the media is gonna try to portray them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like this whole COVID thing that's been happening. Have you heard? There's rumors going around that we're.
Oh yeah, I heard
that we might
about
go
it.
into another lockdown.
Yep.
And it's like, bro, the economy is in shambles. People's lives are ruined. And you're gonna go another lock. Who's gonna agree to that?
Yep.
I hope nobody does. And
I think they're working on a booster shot. I think because
the fifth one.
Yeah, I suppose there's like a new variant that's in Canada. So
Look, people. For anybody listening, for the 4 people who listen, yo, if
the
you're
4 non-vaxxers now.
if you're that worried about COVID, if you're that scared, if you're that concerned, you take the shot, you put the mask on, and you stay home.
Yeah.
Leave everybody else alone. Leave everybody else alone, okay? So you don't want anybody telling you what to do. You want people to mind your business when it comes to your body, right? As an excuse to terminate, quote unquote, terminate pregnancies, which is a euphemism for something else. Well, then abide by those same principles when it comes time for what should be done during COVID. That's simple.
Yeah.
I don't really care. Speaking of which, I didn't catch the debates. You caught them or no?
No, I only saw a couple of highlights here and there, but
It seems like Vivek Ramaswamy is out here crushing it. People like him because it's like, oh, this guy speaks certain truths that we have been saying but have been ignored. And unlike Trump, this is my take, unlike Trump, this guy is not a con man. This guy's a successful businessman. This guy went to a prestigious university. This guy came from nothing when you think about it. He wasn't like, from what I understand, he wasn't rich. He's the son of immigrants. You know what I mean?
He's the American dream.
He's the American dream personified, right? On that stage. And so people can't really say much about him outside of, well, he works for Big Pharma. Then I would be like, yeah, I agree with you on that. That's a very good point. But nobody brings that up because nobody does any research, right?
Yeah, probably because like Big Pharma is funding a lot of these politicians, so they don't want to.
Big Pharma is definitely probably funding him. I heard he was funded by George Soros.
Yeah, man.
If Tesla and Figaro from the Breakfast Club would have came at him with that kind of heat,
Yeah.
I'd have been like, okay, she's making good points now. You know, if she would have came up like, yo, so you work for Big Pharma. How much of Big Pharma is funding your campaign? Just put a apply pressure on him right away.
A lot of them probably won't even answer that question, man.
Yeah, but that would have been like, oh, okay, that's a really good question. Then it's like, well, as a big pharma company, can you explain to us why certain life-saving medications?
Oh yeah, he would have a better insight because he worked in big
Right,
pharma, yeah.
right. Why are they so expensive for people who need them? And what's your plan on making them cheaper? Since you're in big pharma, you were part of that.
Yeah.
Like what are you gonna do to make it lower? You know what I mean? All the voting stuff aside, that's kind of important. You know what I mean? Also, it's funny because Chris Christie said that Vivek Ramaswamy talks like ChatGPT.
Is he still running? Or?
Yeah, man.
Oh my god.
He said that Vivek Ramaswamy talks like ChatGPT.
Oh wow. That's funny.
Well, you did say he has like a good radio voice.
Oh really?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
funny he said that.
No, I mean you said that. Remember? A long time ago. Yeah. You're like,
really?
he has a good radio voice.
Oh yeah, probably. I don't know. I
No,
don't
but
remember.
so Vivek Ramaswamy was like, yeah, I wouldn't give any more funding to the Ukraine, which a lot of people agree with. He's like, I would give funding to our military to protect the border in the south. People keep coming in, and nobody's doing anything about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people agree with that too.
Dude, now that you talk about the south border, I heard that they were selling parts of the border. Like so they didn't complete building the border down south, but there's leftover material, and supposedly Biden was selling it for the down low. Whatever parts were, he's trying to get rid of whatever was left when Trump was in office
Figures.
to build the wall. So I guess we're gonna have to waste more money if he gets reelected and we go through with the plan.
Copyright. All right. Sorry about that.
That reminds me of I'll probably put a meme. You ever seen that meme when there's like an animal or person that passes by and there's like a Spanish reggaeton song in the background? Yeah, I'm gonna put that.
But no, I didn't hear that. But going back to Vivek Ramaswamy, it's gonna be so interesting watching the left on the media, who always claim that Republican voters are racist. It's gonna be so fun watching the mental gymnastics and watching themselves fold into a pretzel, trying to say that Republican voters are racist as they vote for Vivek Ramaswamy, who's an Indian person.
Yeah,
that's gonna be hilarious. It'll be one of the things where it's like, oh well, you can still be non-white and still be a white supremacist. Yeah, way to go, Frankfurt School of Thought. Way to go.
Yeah, at this point, there's so much victimhood mentality, man. But
I was thinking about that. The whole victimhood mentality.
Yeah.
I think the reason people like, apart from the victimhood mentality, I think there's like a sense of like an underdog story. It's like, oh, the man kept his foot on us for 50,000 years, but we're still fighting back. And there's like a underdog connotation, and I feel like in this day and age is not earned. You know what I mean? Like, freak off, man.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But the thing is, like, when there's examples of people that were oppressed and actually make it, it's like it should be a role model for others to be able to say, hey, if they made it, why can't I not make it? And for the majority of the times, it's people that have been in worse situations than others. You know what I mean?
I agree. I mean, it's always funny watching. Not funny, but it's always kind of incredible watching people come to this country who barely speak English. Yeah. And not only do they learn to speak English, but then they also like excel in professions. Yeah. And do really well in these professions. Very well. And you're like, okay, well, this country is bad at being racist these days. Yeah. Yeah, and maybe it's just a coping mechanism. I'm not sure, but hopefully there's because there was a time, man. There was a time where America, was known as a nation of immigrants. We still are considered a nation of immigrants, but people. But we gotta follow laws too, man. And we do need to reform our immigration process. Yeah, and values too. Like values have been lost. Yeah. So to be honest, man, is the values were probably lost through the school system. Definitely. And through the lack of parental involvement with their kids. You know what I mean? Before it used to be like, all right, son, come. This is how we do it. We don't tolerate this. This is how we conduct yourself. This is how you talk to people. If I find out you're disrespecting this person, I'm gonna smack you. Yeah. And then the schools just taught kids basic school stuff, math, science, blah blah. But now that the parents are not involved and kids show up to school with like behavioral problems, teachers are more disciplinarians than teachers. Yeah. Do you think that has a little bit to do with the laws
And I know like back then laws were more lenient. If if a parent maybe disciplined their child by, you know, giving them tough love, right? Not like
Oh,
abusing them,
spanking them.
or spanking them, or like timeout, or old school Neil on Rice. But like now, that happens, called child abuse, and next thing you know, DIFUS comes, takes away your child. So do you think
Yeah,
little acts like that have instilled like fear in parents, and little by little they've lost control in disciplining their children, and
I
they're
guess some parents that I know, they don't care. They're like, nah,
yeah.
look, it's not even about you misbehaving at this point. It's about you disrespecting me.
But that's a minority. Like the majority of the parents, from what I've seen now, they expect the teachers to be parents as well.
Yeah,
It's
of
like,
course. Yeah, that's the problem, right? That I notice is like they don't care. Like some of these kids supposedly go to school and they're not even potty trained.
oh, but they care when the child comes back and they're like, you know what? My teacher's trying to discipline me, but I know mommy and daddy lets me do whatever I want. I'm gonna go back to mommy and daddy and complain about the teacher. And next thing you know,
Right.
the teacher loses his job. It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly. I don't know. That's a very deep subject, and I feel like at some point, I don't even care anymore, to be honest. I've been 10 years asking the same question of where are the parents, why are the parents allowing this, how come the parents aren't involved, and all I hear in response is excuses. Not one time do I hear a parent saying, yeah, you know what, whoops. Yeah, you know what? I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, you know what? Let me keep my mouth shut, giving advice to younger parents on what to do. Let me just not say anything.
yeah.
Except, hey, don't do that because I did that and it didn't work out for my kid. And
Do you think it so like, yeah, the lack of accountability. So do you think that if laws were to change where, for example, I mean this might sound really, really brutal and some people might not like what I'm about to say, but
dude, we can't lose the 4 viewers that we.
no. Let's just say your child gets caught underage drinking, right?
Yeah.
Now instead of instead of the child getting in trouble, now the parent is liable to getting not a DUI but some sort of charge, right?
Well, that would depend, right? If you're drinking in the house, yes, the parents should get in trouble. If you're drinking with your parent outside, if like you're in the vicinity of a parent, yes, the parent should get in trouble. But if your son is like he went to school and he's walking home from school,
No, but think about it. If the parent is liable, the parent would take more
more
precautions
involved?
and he would get more involved in the child's life. You know what I mean? Like, hey, like if you mess up, I'm getting screwed over too.
yeah,
type
but
of
then
thing.
that invites parents so involved into the kids' lives that the kid never has a sense of autonomy.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You know what I
Damn,
mean?
the balance.
But I think to a certain extent though, you're not wrong, right? So it's like it should be more. Let's say starting in school, if the kid misbehaves, get the parent involved. So your
Yeah.
kid is not misbehaving. We're a school. We're not a disciplinary
Like-
place. But if your kid is misbehaving,
Yeah.
and you don't come to school and we ask you to discuss what's going on, your kid can't come to school until you show up.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe I gave a kind of an extreme example. This is an even more extreme
Because
example.
Kamala Harris tried something like that. She tried
Yeah.
to punish parents for kids truancy, like they don't go to school.
Really?
For kids not showing up to school. Yeah, it didn't seem like it worked out.
Didn't work.
Either it didn't work out or she couldn't get it to pass, but it wasn't popular. Because at the end of the day, it's like you can't stay on top of a kid to that degree
Yeah.
and still be able to do all your work or your, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was even thinking about this. I mean, I know this is not going to pass, but like to the point where it's like, if you end up having a child like out of wedlock or something at underage, then now the parent would still be liable for taking care of the child, right? Both his child and that child.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, or
You're an underage parent. Like, do you answer to your parents or are you
I
emancipated?
think they're considered independent now after that, right? I don't
Probably.
know. Well, it depends how young they are. But yeah, it's just a lot of problems come from lack of accountability and from parenting.
Yeah,
I
man.
think the majority are from
and
parenting.
It's always some freaking excuse. You know, it's very rare that it's like, oh, we had a stable home environment and something happened and it resulted in us having to like make moves that resulted in us not being able to really be involved in our kids' lives for
Yeah.
whatever reason. It's always, you did this. You know you weren't supposed to do this. You had these consequences and now it's society's problem. And now you want to come across as a hero. You're not, bro, like, if I spill a gallon of milk, right, and I mop it, I shouldn't be celebrated You know what I mean? For being a
Yeah.
hero. Wow, look how this person cleans the floor.
It's like it's your job, it's your duty.
He's brave and strong. Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible. Like, no, bro, I made the mess in the first place.
Yeah.
We got to stop encouraging certain behaviors, but nobody wants to discourage certain behaviors because then uh, it results in blame without any grace, if you know what I mean. And what do I mean by that?
Yeah.
It's like if you say, hey, the kids who are not doing good in school not only don't have involved parents, but they're single parent households. They come from single parent households. We should
Yeah.
say, okay, sorry about that, guys. They should say, hey, we're gonna still do the best we can to help this kid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
However, please do your best to not have kids out of wedlock. Do your best to not have kids without being married. Do your best at not having kids with somebody who you clearly know doesn't want to be a father or a
Yeah.
mom.
So they should probably be teaching that at a very young age, maybe.
But that's
Instead of other things, instead of having a
no. But what I'm saying is but you got to do it with grace. Instead of saying, well, you want to be loose and be out there and have kids, well, that's what you get.
Yeah, I
You-
see.
You
Yep.
stupid. It's like, all right, bro. Like,
yeah.
can we have some respect and can we at least use this or try to leverage this in a way where we discourage other people from doing this type of behavior? But I heard a saying like statistics, right? Statistics paint a picture that's not too pretty,
Yeah.
but nobody knows how to use those statistics responsibly, right? You can say something along the lines of, "Oh, kids who come from single mother households tend to do less well in school." There's your problem right there. Single women are the problem. It's like, well, kids who come from single mother households who have money don't seem to have the same problem as kids who come from single mother households who don't have money.
wow.
You know what I mean? So there's not a
So
they don't wield
they should have
statistics
to-
responsibly.
Yeah, they have to like deep dive into the statistics. Interesting.
Exactly. But nobody wants to talk about it because then the blame gets put on women, and then immediately becomes men do it too. Like, yes, men do it too, but nobody's backing them up. And they shouldn't. You always hear about deadbeat dad. Nobody celebrates deadbeat dads.
Yeah, no
and they
one
shouldn't.
does. Yeah, they don't call him a strong,
He's such a brave man,
Yeah.
abandoning his kids. Speaking of insulting women,
Yeah.
we did a short video on Fresh and Fit getting demonetized. What's your thought? What's your
yeah.
thought on that?
Well, damn it. I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to this, man. It comes down to this. If you're using someone's platform, right? Even us, we don't own YouTube, and so we have to abide by the community rules, regardless of what message you're trying to display or communicate to your listeners or fans. You have to understand that, hey, like there's consequences to what you say. So because of that, man, instead of blaming the system, blaming YouTube, blaming the Matrix, there has to be accountability, man. And not only that, I mean, I was watching some of the content they were creating recently, and it was pretty extreme, man. It was messed up stuff, a lot of racist stuff.
Yeah, I don't feel bad. I think it's messed up that they
Yeah.
got demonetized. Only because I don't think people's livelihoods, like we stated before, I don't think people's livelihoods should be taken away for the things that they say.
Oh yeah, definitely, because they put in a lot of work, but at the same time, and before anyone says, "Oh yeah, but they're black, so they could talk that way about black people," like no, like that makes it even worse because that kind of shows a little bit of self-hate.
Yeah.
Self-hate, man. Like you should be encouraging and trying to solve problems within your community and within your race versus like talking down upon them.
Thing is though, I don't feel bad for them getting demonetized because they try to take down other people's YouTube channels
Yeah.
with a whole bunch of copyright strikes, and then they try to be like, well, you said this, so there's accountability, blah blah blah, ha 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 ha. Like, nah, bro. You gotta be open to the criticisms. You gotta be open to people might not like you. You gotta be
Yeah.
open to people saying things that you might not like. You don't go and take other people's channels down because they said stuff you don't like. The freak is that? Like, how's that maintaining fame?
Yeah.
And they were perfectly okay with doing that. They didn't care, right? Well, now they got their channel demonetized, and now they're crying. I don't feel bad. They try to ruin other people's lives. Should they have gotten demonetized? In my opinion, no.
No, I don't think so. Me neither.
Do I feel bad? No. Am I glad? Not really. Did they have that coming? Yes.
Yeah, they got. I think they had already 2 strikes on them, right?
Yeah. And they were like, these people, right? Him, Andrew Tate, Sneeko, and the rest of these guys that hang in those same
Sneeko.
circles, they talk about the Matrix, right? Like, you'll do something, and then the consequences of your actions as a result show up, and then they say, the Matrix is real, guys. The Matrix is real.
Yeah.
They talk about that the same way third generation feminists talk about the patriarchy, like a woman who would do things she's not supposed to, and then men don't want to sleep with her or be with her or marry her as a result, and then
Yeah.
it's the patriarchy. You have to be like, no, ma'am, it's the consequences of your actions.
You know, I still don't really even know why Sneeko got banned.
I think he had made some insensitive comments towards a specific group of people.
Oh,
I think, and
okay.
yeah, he also made a grape joke.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
I didn't know
It
that.
was really like,
Because I know he was saying, I was watching, I don't know, he was on one of the podcasts and he was like, oh, they just canceled me. I don't know why. I've never had a strike or anything. I just got canceled and everything. But damn, if he
well, the
sets,
thing is, look, you get it's like a warning. Strikes are a warning,
Yeah.
but then there's certain things that you do that are so egregious that it's on
yeah,
the spot.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what he did that was so like
It was
wrong.
that.
It was that bad.
It was one of those. Yeah,
Wow.
it was like a on the spot type of thing.
Darn. And then Andrew Tate, I mean, he got canceled throughout the world.
Andrew Tate, bro, he's a fraud, bro.
Darn, you think so?
He's a fraud, man.
Because of the way he made his riches.
No, and then you manipulate people, right? Okay, whatever, fine. Then you go ahead and sell a product to other people.
I see. Yeah.
Then you try to mentor the other people who are consuming the product and tell them, hey, if you consume this product, you're trash. Pay for my course. So now you're double dipping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Fraud, man. You're a fraud.
I've actually had people that have I've had conversations with people and they're like, "Oh man, you remind me of like Andrew Tate," and I'm like,
The thing is this: Andrew Tate doesn't have a monopoly on self-improvement for men. That's the thing. That's the thing we got to remember. You know what I mean? When I say go to the gym, work out, be the best version of yourself, that's not an Andrew Tate maxim.
Exactly.
That's a man's maxim.
so the people that I've spoken to, even at the gym, right? Like I've had conversations with people, and I'm like, and just having a conversation like, "Yo, you sound just like Andrew Tate. Are you part of that whatever subscription that they
Hustlers
have?"
University?
Yeah, whatever. And I'm like, "No, I'm not part of it. It's just common sense."
it's a man's. But look, the fact that
I guess it's not that common. Maybe is that what?
probably, but the fact that somebody's out here saying be the best version of yourself, work out, get money, do all these things. That's a good message. That is a good
Yeah.
message, but he doesn't own that message. It's not his message.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
don't think you should charge for that too. You shouldn't.
No, he
charge.
wasn't charging for that. He was charging on how to get girls to like how to. From the very little that I know, allegedly he was charging in his Hustlers University course on how to get girls to do things for you and to manipulate them and get them to do what you want. And maybe in the future have them as webcam girls. And yeah, he was just doing, just proud of swindling men of money, of loans, of life savings, all that stuff. Just proud of that.
I did see that video.
Like,
that
bro.
was pretty messed up.
Like, but what the you an OnlyFans chick, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So his message on self-improvement is fantastic, but he doesn't own that message. He just had a loud enough megaphone to own that message.
So do you think if he was doing all these things and he was just not selling courses and things like that, they would be okay?
If he was just giving that kind of message, yeah.
Yeah, and not trying to like make
Because
money
Jordan
off.
Peterson gave that kind of message, not that extreme, but he was like, find something difficult,
Yeah.
stick to it and do it. Always say the truth. All that stuff. Jordan Peterson was saying a similar thing. Only he wasn't pimping out women and manipulating them and trying to get money from men, selling them the idea of possibly having intercourse with beautiful women.
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson was telling you, like, yo, life is hard. It's difficult. And you have to face those difficulties. And you got to face those difficulties. Because if you run away from them, you will have to face them eventually. Only this time you're going to, not be as prepared.
Yeah.
So I don't think, I think people like all those people, how many more times you got to keep hearing the same message that society's gynocentric, men don't have the same resources as women in the first world countries, Men are
Yeah.
falling behind. How many times you got to keep hearing that message before you say, okay, I think I've heard enough. Let me go ahead and get this money. Let me go ahead and improve. Let me go ahead and do the best that I can. You know what I mean? To move ahead in life.
And another thing is, I was talking to one of my buddies. I'm like, hey, did you hear about, Fresh and Fit got demonetized? And he's like, well, I already told you it was gonna happen. I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, you told me. What was your reason behind it? He's like, if you watch their show, it comes to a point where it's like you can't keep bringing girls onto a podcast
Yes.
where you put them in a place, in a situation where they're going to act out, and you keep trying to push their buttons and trigger them and make them react a certain way just to get certain views. And I know I've heard Myron and Walter, I've heard that they're like, oh guys, we're just displaying this, we're asking these questions, and we're displaying this to you views so that way you could understand the nature of a woman.
Yeah.
But at some point it's like, bro, any woman, the majority of the time, if you ask them certain questions or you
It's not just anyone,
say certain things to
anybody
them,
in general.
things that are very insulting and triggering, they're going to react a certain way.
But also, bro, like, do these guys bring any what society would consider any high quality women?
Yeah, it's another thing. They
Doctors,
they
lawyers,
say that they say
married women.
They say that they don't believe that a woman is a high value woman unless
Not high value, high quality.
high quality. Okay,
Something you would consider a good like a good quality
okay,
woman.
that's a good term. No, they have, but
It's like bring a doctor.
they
Bring a
have, but
married
it's
doctor.
rare. From what I've seen, it's rare. It's probably
Because-
like once or twice a year, and they've only been in
Because they're
for 3 years. I think they've only
because
been in production.
part of what's on their menu is outrage. It's like, oh, let me bring beautiful young women here, talk to them a certain way to get them upset, kick them off, so that the male fan base can get off on that because they've been treated badly by beautiful men in the past.
Yeah.
So now they feel like they're getting a form of revenge.
That's actually a really good idea. Maybe someone out there in the YouTube world could create some sort of.
Not gonna lie, I thought just Pearly Things would have done something.
Oh
like
no,
that.
she's another grifter.
But that was in the beginning when I first.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, maybe
But maybe someone out there could create some sort of Fresh and Fit. It might not get that many views because there's not that much drama, but where you actually bring high quality women and high quality men that are married
in
and
relationships. Just like, hey, what makes your relationship
Yeah.
good? Like, what made you attracted to him? What made you attracted to her?
Yeah.
How does your relationship work? No relationship is perfect, but how do you guys keep it going, et cetera, et cetera?
It's probably gonna get half the views because people want to see the insults and the drama.
Yeah, but
getting kicked out.
the thing is, oh, we're saving lives here. Like,
Yeah.
good. All right. So you claim you're saving lives, but
I'm sure they receive emails and phone calls of people saying, "Oh, you saved my life" and stuff.
but eventually people want at least some sort of like model of what a healthy relationship looks
Yeah.
like. Eventually, you know what I
Because
mean?
the thing is, okay, well, you saved their life, but now what? After that, they're going to continue feeling that way, and they're going to continue consuming your content, but they need a solution.
Yes, and the solution is go out there, work, try to find a way to make money, do something difficult,
Yeah.
be the best version of yourself.
Like, don't get me wrong, everything you're saying, I've seen that they display that and they talk about it in the show, but it's like they're just gonna tune in your show just to watch that, just to watch
if
girls
you got,
getting,
If you got somebody like, let's say, Jordan Peterson saying the same message as Fresh and Fit,
Yeah.
but Fresh and Fit are out here putting KKK suits on and
that's
calling
another thing.
and calling certain group of people certain types of animals, right? And then
Yeah.
treating other people a certain type of way, and then just doing things like that. And they're saying the message of improve yourself versus Jordan Peterson, who's not doing that type of stuff. Who do you think people are gonna gravitate? Like, this guy seems more stable and more mature. I'm gonna go to that guy. These guys are
People still
these guys are clowns with a good message.
people still gravitate to the other end, I guess, from what I've seen.
Yeah, I
They
mean
get more
the
views.
the outreach culture, the shock value, all that stuff.
Yeah, so I guess if all the red pill community just were to
They gotta go, man.
yeah,
These guys gotta go.
or they could change, man. They could just bring on
They could change,
high
but
quality women and show people that, hey,
They have to. Yeah, they gotta. But the iteration of the red pill now is done. It has to be redone.
Yeah.
Similar to, let's say, Elliot Halls, Jordan Peterson. That cloth of masculine, positive
Or,
masculine.
what's your thoughts on what's the guy who passed away like a year ago?
Kevin Samuels?
Kevin Samuels.
Something like that, I
He
guess.
was, he was very stoic and
The thing about Kevin
controlling.
Samuels is
Well, he kind of did
No.
used to do kind of the same thing Fresh and Fit did.
No,
on a
but-
small scale.
the difference is they called onto his show.
Ah, yeah, you're right.
He would say-
he wouldn't bring him in onto the show. You're right. He wouldn't
He-
go on Miami in his
he-
Miami streets.
He would say, here's the deal. Boom, 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 boom. This is how it is. These are the numbers, blah, blah. Anybody who disagrees with me, call in.
Yeah.
You have people calling in, And then he'll say, why do you disagree? I disagree because this and this. And like, well, you're wrong because this and this. And then they'll start saying, it didn't look, at least I didn't notice that he was poking them. He
Yeah.
was just saying like, well, ma'am, an example, he's like, ma'am, you have two different kids with two different men who you never had any standards for, who you never made any requirements for. Now you have standards for the next guy to date you.
Yeah.
Now the next guy has to be making $300,000 a year, has to have this, and this. When the other two guys that you just gave access to your womb to didn't meet those standards, do you think that's fair? Do you think any guy would take that? The woman will get upset with that.
Yeah.
But
he usually cut him off too after that. He would just like
if they get disrespectful.
yeah.
Yeah. So all those things, man. I think there was a difference between how Fresh and Fit were doing it and how Kevin Samuels was doing it.
Yeah.
You know. So, but I mean,
Yeah, how about not the
guys, we kind of gotta go. It seems like they're doing construction.
yeah, but wait, I just want to touch upon one more topic, man.
Yeah.
Trump,
Mugshot Trump, baby.
Mugshot Trump, man. He's back
I
on
was-
Twitter,
I was-
back on X actually.
I was watching a video done by a YouTuber called Razor Fist.
Okay.
Shout out Razor Fist, and he said that they gave a mugshot to Trump, right? Who was
Yeah.
already popular to begin with, forgetting that this country loves its outlaws.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they just made him like a folk hero. There's a
Yeah.
reason Robin Hood. There's a reason
Yeah.
Robin Hood was famous. There's a reason Jesse James was famous. There's a reason all these guys.
Yeah, and it goes
know.
with what he said when he uploaded that picture. He's like, never surrender or whatever.
Yeah, you never surrendered, but you surrendered yourself to.
Yeah.
Well, the thing
But he's
is,
still fighting, I guess, you know.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
he's not letting them actually, you know.
I'm gonna say this
Charge him.
about Trump that people just don't want to accept. It's been decades. The media has been gaslighting people for decades, making it seem like nothing is wrong, or not acknowledging some of the grievances that the people has. Jobs going overseas, the Rust Belt not having any manufacturing, people just being forgotten, right? And here comes this guy and he says, screw the media, screw the politicians. You guys been here, you guys haven't been doing squat. The media hasn't been, it's not the voice of the people. The media is actually the enemy of the people. They're fake news. And people resonated with that and they're like, finally, somebody's saying something
Yeah.
that we've all felt, right? And some of these people voted for Obama twice, by the way. They're like, finally, somebody's saying something that we've all felt. Finally, somebody's speaking up for us. I don't care if he is a known con man. He's sticking the middle finger to the establishment on our behalf.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a con man, but you know what? Those people are con men too. And it's good to see that these people finally getting what they deserve for screwing us over or helping us screw over. Because as much of an alleged con man Donald Trump is, he wasn't screwing over an entire country. Like the media and the politicians.
He was just,
on both sides.
I think he was just utilizing the laws that were put in place.
But regardless, he wasn't passing laws to screw over people.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And then
that's
he
true.
wasn't using the media to gaslight people when people complained about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Democrat and Republican.
He probably could have. He would have bent the knee and, you know.
But yeah, guys like that don't.
Yeah,
They-
yeah.
You know what I mean? But you have the media, you have the Republicans, you have the Democrats, all talking about everything except like what people want to discuss.
Yeah.
You know, Trump says, yeah, yo, all your jobs went overseas. I'm going to try to bring them back. Maybe he could, maybe he can't. But damn, finally somebody said it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Damn, somebody's acknowledging this. You know what I mean? Oh, the media's fake news. You know, you guys are the enemy of the people or whatever. And people are like, yeah, you know, these people, sometimes they lie to us. Finally, somebody said it. Finally, somebody's acknowledging it. You know what I mean? And sometimes you don't have to like somebody to be like, damn, finally, this guy's saying something. Sticking the middle finger out to the entire Republican Party.
Yeah.
Sticking the middle finger out to the Democrats, of course. Sticking the middle finger out to the establishment. Mind you, a lot of these people also wanted to vote for Bernie. You know,
Oh, yeah.
betrayed by the DNC.
By his own party, man.
Betrayed by the media as well.
Yep.
So basically, like, all these people like were angry at the DNC and the media, and here comes some guy that they don't like. But you know what? He's smacking up the DNC and the media. So they're like, finally, somebody's teaching these guys a lesson. He acknowledges a lot of the stuff that has been unacknowledged by people. And so that's why
By politicians.
by politicians, by
Yeah.
the media, and that's why he's famous. And what does the media do? What do the politicians do? Do you think they own up to that? Do you think they say something along the lines of, yeah, you know what have we done to the people of this country that they have their mental state in such a state that they voting for a guy like this.
Yeah.
They didn't do that. They just said he racist.
Yeah.
He racist. Voted for Obama twice, and then they voted for Trump. Now they still racist. So, that's what I feel about Trump. Let's see what happens in this election cycle. I don't know if they're gonna let him run, but it's like, who you?
I don't know. He said he's still gonna run even in jail.
Let's see, and people are gonna vote for him too.
Yeah, it's true. All right,
guys, that's all we had to say for this week. We'll talk.
We'll see you next week. Peace.